As you might have guessed, many light workers hesitate to become public healers and teachers because of fears of further teasing, rejection, or ostracism. What will people think? The light worker anxiously asks. This is especially true if their families hold traditional religious values or are very conservative. I call this process coming out of the spiritual closet, where you reveal your true beliefs to others. I wouldn't commend holding a debate about spirituality or religion because no one is converted through fear or anger. Instead, let your outing happen gradually and naturally. Perhaps you begin by mentioning a spiritual book that you enjoy reading and then go from there. Remember that you aren't out to be a spiritual teacher to your loved ones unless they ask for such lessons. You and your family are going through spiritual growth lessons already in this lifetime, just by learning to function peacefully with one another. The truth is that some people will judge or criticize you as you become known for your spiritual work. Something about spirituality just seems to bring out opinionated people. The way I deal with this scrutiny is by reminding myself that there are no people in the spotlight who have been universally loved or accepted, because every figure has also had detractors and persecutors. So expecting everyone to like you and your work is unrealistic. I said that you will attract the people who are supposed to work with you and let the rest go. Forgive your critics and judges, and they're just afraid to spend their time on their own life purpose. If they were doing so, they'll be too busy to condemn others. As you feel compassion for them, the sting of their words will lessen. The law of attraction also operates in this vein. If you fear criticism or judgment, you will definitely attract more of it. I love the adage of Alcoholics Anonymous that says, when you judge me, you got one finger pointed at me and three pointed back at yourself. This speaks to the projection aspect of judgment. What you see in me is something you see in yourself. My favorite book, A Course in Miracles, says that our fear-based egos hide from our conscious awareness. We don't want to see the darkness within them, so we project awareness outward by seeing it in others. A wonderful, clean affirmation that the angels gave me years ago is great to recite whenever you feel angry at someone. I am willing to release that part of me that irritates me when I think of you. A Course in Miracles also says that guilt attracts negative experiences because this emotion always expects punishment. So be sure to enter your spirituality-based career with excitement and a clear conscience. Don't hide what you're doing behind people's backs, because this will create an unhealthy energy ripple that will attract what you most fear, being discovered. Instead, just go about your work without apologies and trust the law of attraction to bring you exactly the right students, audiences, clients, because it will. Remember, you're already a spiritual teacher and a healer. You were born one, and you've been practicing your art for lifetimes. For example, if you've been attracting strangers who tell you their life stories and problems, you've been using your hands to heal people's ailments, or you've been counseling your girlfriends through the life crisis, then yes, you're already working as a spiritual teacher and healer. Now it's time to get paid for it. Oops, did that sentence create a blip in your consciousness just now? My apologies. However, I actually did want you to get in touch with this feeling because it is essential to moving forward. You see, in order to be a professional spiritual teacher or healer, you must allow yourself to be compensated. How else are you going to quit your day job and support yourself if you don't allow your clients and students to pay you? If this idea makes you uncomfortable, then let's explore the reasons, because unhealed, this could be a major block to the development of your career. First, how do you feel about people accepting money for spiritually based actions? If you hold an idealistic sense of altruism, I believe that we should freely give that which God gave us. I totally understand your feelings. I mean, at the beginning, when I was putting my courses and my videos out there, it was all for free. And that's great. But soon I understood that I needed to take care of the website that maintained these courses and the platform. That sometimes if I was given 25 courses for free and I didn't have money for gas, then I couldn't go to meet with people or conferences or anything to learn and to make those courses better for the people that I was helping. So if you have other sources of income that will still allow you enough time to focus upon your spiritual teachings and healing work, then that's wonderful. Feel free to give away your spiritual offerings as you're guided to. For many people, volunteer work and selfless service are the foundations of personal and spiritual growth. I remember when I had my first job after volunteering at a hospital for several months. So there are many practical benefits to donating your time. Those who abhor the idea of accepting payment for spiritual work are likely recalling past lifetimes when they live in communal settings such as lamasery, what is called a monastery of lamas, or a monastery. In those lifetimes, your food and shelter were provided for. You were free to focus upon your spiritual path without regard for earning an income. But in modern times, we usually need a salary to pay our bills. We don't live in communal settings, and you are responsible for your utilities, mortgage, and groceries. You likely have a job right now that pays your bills. The question is, do you love your job? I believe that we are meant to work in jobs that brings us another joy. So we are meant to have careers that are personally meaningful, which we feel good about. And when we love our work, everything else, like getting paid, naturally falls into place. When you love what you do, your primary focus isn't in money base, it's love base. Yet you still make money because this is the natural order of giving and receiving. I've seen people with business backgrounds approach spiritual teaching like a horse race, figuring odds and calculating returns. They buy expensive advertisements and rent fancy ballrooms to hold events. And no one attends. Ouch! What happened? Well, your potential students and clients are sensitive, just like you are. They can feel the intentions behind your workshops and healing practices. If your primary motive is riches or fame, then no one will be attracted to your work. Of course, it's fine to make money for your spiritual work, but it can't be your main focus. Also, I would like to add that first, you need to add value to your content. That being on YouTube, or, it doesn't have to be fancy. You don't have to spend a lot of money, but it has to have some kind of content that students appreciate it. Once you build value, it might take longer to build an audience or a niche, but soon, because of that content, the students will feel like they understand you, like you're actually there because you want to be there, not because you want to make money out of it. So remember, money is not your main focus. If you need income while you're building your healing practice, then keep your day job for a while or take on a part-time job and gradually ease into self-employment. I know a lot of people online, and I have done that myself, believing some of these slogans at the beginning, in which they tell you, if you really want something, you gotta focus 100% and you wanna go for it and you wanna leave your day job and do the way you want. Well, I would say that at least 95 to 97% of all businesses that do that, especially an entrepreneur that has never had a business before, are going to fail within the first 6 months. And then what do you have? You have a bunch of new expenses. Your business is building, yes, but you might not have acquired a lot of clients. So everything takes time. So I was doing, for example, when I put my hypnotherapy business, I was doing at the same time I was working as a teacher to be able to supplement income. You have to gradually ease into self-employment. If you're feeling too timid to try, the situation might seem the opposite of the one above. Then you might have a lot in common because both come from fear. In the first scenario that we talk about, the people use their heads to make decisions about their spiritually based careers because deep down they don't trust their intuition and personal desires. They may have ego based competitive drives too. And those who are too timid to step out and follow their intuition are plagued by low self confidence and indecision, which usually means the fear of making the wrong move or decision. Well, I'm going to tell you something that I also learned as an entrepreneur. When you don't make any decision, you're actually making a decision. When you don't make any move and you get stuck on something, you're actually making the decision not to move. Action is needed. However, there is a little non-universal law that is in operation always, which is the law of action. This rule states that as you take any action in the direction of your goal, no matter how seemingly small, the universe will take an even greater step in your direction to meet and support your goal. So, for example, I got a YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is not my priority right now, as far as it's not my primary means of, you know, business or making a profit. It's just there to help students and give some of my content for free. So, however, at least once a week I will put a video. So I don't have to go there every day and put a video, but as long as you do a small, you know, a small kind of goal every week, something that is a small step towards your business, then you're actually doing. It just takes time, so just be patient. So if you have a dream to be a spiritual teacher or healer, then do something about it now. You'll read the specific ideas and examples of steps that we're going to take later. Taking guided action requires faith and guts, for sure. That's why I qualify this category by saying it's guided action, which means following your intuition. One of my favorite quotes is from the author Sheldon Cobb. He says, "I have never begun an important venture from which I felt adequately prepared." This statement speaks to the fact that the ego will always try to con you into believing that you're not ready to take action. It will tell you that because you don't feel prepared, you aren't prepared. The ego also uses a ploy called the imposter phenomenon, in which it tells you that you're unqualified, a fake, a phony. I know that this has happened to me in the engineering field. This is extremely common, especially among intelligent and successful people. It is based upon the old energy that says you have to suffer and work extremely hard to get anything worthwhile. So if things come easily, as they often do for intelligent people, then your ego says it can be valuable or real. Once you recognize that these feelings aren't based upon reality, then they can no longer thwart you. People pay good money for business leads. Yet the greatest source of professional guidance is free of charge. It is in your gut feelings. So spend time alone with yourself daily. Listen to your intuition and then take action accordingly. Your gut feelings are your best business partners. Giving and receiving are equally important. When you give a reading or conduct a counseling session, workshop, or other helpful offering, it's only right that you receive something in exchange. Giving and receiving are equally important energies, and both are required for a balanced life. Light workers are natural givers and caretakers. It is in our souls, instincts, and DNA to help others to feel happier and healthier. So, we don't want to block or fight this inclination. However, it is vital to balance all that giving with an equal measure of receiving. You may be uncomfortable receiving because the ego makes you feel some of these things that you see here in the screen. It might make you feel obligated, like if you give something to me, then I'll owe you. Or I need it. As long as I'm the one doing the giving, then I need it. But if you give to me, then I need you. Or out of control. I can't control myself and my actions, but I cannot control you when you're giving to me. Or guilty. I don't feel worthy of receiving from you. Or passive aggressive. I don't want to give you the satisfaction of pleasing me. These, which are usually unconscious, ego-based feelings and fears, can stem from past lifetimes or from present lifetime, where you play the role of a servant or slave or were otherwise controlled. Usually, however, these blocks stem from listening to the ego, which is all about fear and is under the radar plan is to keep you from remembering your divine identity and life purpose. The ego wants you to keep you and others afraid and insecure because that is the foundation and lifeblood. Fortunately, you don't have any reason to listen to the ego's blather because your higher self, who is one with God, is that part of you that performs the spiritual services you're offering. Your higher self already is a spiritual teacher, healer, light worker, and so forth. So you express pure divine love, wisdom, and creativity through your higher self like a clear prism on a sunny day. If you only give and don't allow yourself to receive, you will feel burnt out and drained. You'll also be resentful because deep down, you wish that others will guess your needs and fulfill them. This isn't fair in relationships. You got to tell people what's important to you. If they are unresponsive to your needs and you clearly outline what they are, then well, it is time to rethink the relationship. Giving is a masculine energy, and receiving is a feminine energy. Both are needed in a well-balanced life. Besides, receiving and feminine energy are the basics of psychic awareness. So, to hear the divine messages, you got to be receptive. Otherwise, it's like having a conversation where no one is listening. Every day, practice giving and receiving at least 3 times. So when someone offers to help you, smile and say, yes, please, or thank you. Give any guilt or other harsh emotions to God and the angels. The exception will be if you get a strong gut feeling not to interact with the particular person. Always follow your gut. When your clients or students pay you, similarly, just say thank you and write in a receipt. Please don't talk about your discomfort or guilt about accepting money. Save the conversation for God and your guardian angels who can reassure you and heal your feelings. By accepting payment for your services, you're performing an energy exchange where the giving you just expended is balanced by receiving payment. Your clients or students will appreciate your services even more since they exchange something of value in order to receive them. You are not different from other healers who accept payment, such as doctors or nurses, which are also sacred professions like yours. As you put a price on your services, you are supported in important ways. The money allows you to devote more time to your healing and teaching practice. If you don't accept it, then you'll have to spend valuable time at a job to earn it. And this is time that you could use instead in service to your students, clients, and God. Your past lifetime, where you stood with the beginning vow, is over. Today you're a professional who deserves remuneration for your work. Remember that God answers prayers through people. Your students and clients who want to pay you for your work are part of your answer to your prayers. So just say yes and thank you as you allow yourself to receive. Now, the fastest way to increase your confidence and courage is to clean out your act, to put it bluntly. This means taking an inventory and investment in any behaviors you currently engage in that you don't feel good about. Look at your diet, your relationships, your business practices, your honesty with self and others, your lifestyle, and other factors. Do any of these activities make you cringe? Do you engage in something that you hope no one discovers? Anything that makes you feel ashamed or guilty? All of these deeds lower your self-esteem and your prana, which then lowers your confidence. Confidence comes from trusting your own self. It means having a great, trustworthy relationship with you. Because although you may be able to sneak behaviors past others, you know that you're engaging in them. And this makes you trust yourself less, all of which takes a toll on your confidence and self-esteem. Just as you love someone who takes good care of you, so do you love yourself more when you take good care of yourself. You can ask God and the angels for help, especially the healing angel Raphael and the angel of courage Michael, in releasing cravings from unhealthy behaviors and addictions. Heaven can eliminate or reduce cravings so that you won't be tempted. Sometimes we engage in unhealthy behaviors out of self-punishment because of the underlying guilt for other things that we have done in our past. Well, this is a catch-22 because these activities then increase these feelings of guilt. We can break the cycle by calling upon spiritual assistance. Unhealthy behaviors can also be procrastination tools or delay tactics for those afraid to move forward with their goals and priorities. Fears of failure and of success are real confidence robbers that can lead to paralyzing indecision. I know because I have been there also. Since it is upsetting to procrastinate, it's easier to fool yourself by becoming busy with time-wasting activities such as addictions. We also use other delay tactics as well, including overeating. Remember, it takes a lot of time to plan, prepare, eat, and then clean up after a meal. Time-consuming relationships, drinking wine, which saps your energy and makes you too tired to write, for example. Another delay tactic you can spend is hold your phone with a girlfriend. So you might be talking on the phone with a lot of friends who have endless drama. You really don't want the advice, guidance, or help. So a lot of people just want to complain on the phone to you. This all is going to take your energy. So if you have a person like that is using you to be able to take your energy and your time in this kind of relationship, but then you have to realize that you are also using that person as much as he's using you, which is another delay tactic not to do something that you really want to do. Taking steps towards your dream feels like a giant leap into the unknown, I know. But by action, you're committing to something that's super important to you. It's a dream that you kept in your back pocket for a long time, so it can feel threatening to actually look at it and actually work on it. And I totally understand that. That's why it's a relief to realize that the development of your aspiration won't require a lot of time. You can invest 30 minutes, an hour, or two daily when you begin taking any action step related to your dream, and this will rapidly propel you all your manifestations. If you can dream it, you can definitely do it. Self-esteem equals confidence.